In this lesson, we will start with the texturing process in Substance. And for this, we will bring our textures from Enrique, that we remove the highlights and shadows. And we will take our browser and we will select all the pictures and throw it in the asset library from Substance directly. So this Substance will ask us to select a prefix and to define if this is a HDRI, like environment or texture. So we'll select all of them. We'll select that it's a texture, so all of them will be selected. And we will type Enrique, so we have that easier to find. And then we'll select here to that it will be just for this project, say. And with this, now we will have all these textures ready for whenever we want to use them. First of all, we need to bring our head from the textures that we did in Mari in our previous course. So for this, we'll create a field layer. And in this field layer, we will import the diffuse. So for that, we will do the same that we did with all the textures from Enrique. We'll go to our browser and we'll select the diffuse that we have from our first UDEM. And then now that we're here, we'll import the roughness also, so we have it there. So same system, we will do the face, texture, and we'll do it only for the current session because then we're not going to use it anymore. So we'll apply this only to the diffuse. We don't care about all the rest of the maps at this point. So we will, sorry, when I say the diffuse, I say the base color, right, in Substance. But so here we can see that we have our head in the first UDEM and the rest is all in white. And now we'll start projecting our textures, the textures from Enrique. And for this, we'll use the new tool in Substance that is called the 3D Wrap tool. And for this, we'll apply our texture, one of the front side textures in the base color. And then in the projection tab, we will select the wrap projection. And as you see here, we can move the wrap projection. It works like, at the moment it works like a planar projection where you're using now, that we can move it, scale it, and adjust it like this. But then this has like a lot of more power because we will be able to edit this in a much better way. So in our previous course, we did the texture like doing projections in Mari. Now we are trying this new workflow where the 3D Wrap tool, like I think is a really, really powerful tool that will allow us to have a lot of control in this part of the process. So for this, as we see, we can come here and select the amount of rows that we have in our grid. So at the moment, let's try to keep like in kind of low resolution, not go super crazy because then it's difficult to control. And then what you can do is to slice wrap projection here that you can select in horizontal or vertical way where you want one of these grid lines, right? And then all of these grids, each vertex of the grid is a point that we can control. So then we select points. And then we have this option that we can take the point and snap it to the surface. That this is a really powerful thing. We're not going to use it always because I like the control of controlling it with the arrows, but sometimes will be really powerful and really important. Especially in this tutorial, we're not going to texture the face, but to texture faces like this is super, super powerful. So now what I will do is I will start moving vertices around. So as you see, you can control the vertices just with the arrows, and you can select a few of them and scale it and stuff. It's super intuitive. Like honestly, it's a really straightforward workflow. And I will use sometimes like this the snap tool. Sorry, the snap tool to snap to the surface, and with this I will try to match as best as I can the placing of the texture on our character, right? So for example, there we have the nipples that we need to match it more or less, even if then we will delete them from this thing, but it works as a scale here. So then as you see, speeding up a bit this process, but as you see here, I'm moving the things around and trying to fill all the space, even if there are some areas that will get a bit stretchy. Doesn't matter because we will cover it with other projections later. This is just to have a base and to have more or less the right proportions of the texture there. And what we want is slowly to start covering the entire thing. So as you see, I keep moving the things around. There will be areas that we will need to reproject completely later, but for now we have these like more or less in the right place. Once we have these in a good position, that we are more or less happy with this, what we will do is we'll add a mask, and with a paint layer we will remove all the areas that we don't want, and this will be the head that we don't want to project in the head because we have already the base color from our textures that we did in our previous course, and then all the parts that we, while projecting it, goes like a bit crazy as the back and stuff. That there are areas that they are not projecting properly, so we'll use this mask, this paint map to remove all that areas. And also, if there are areas with a lot of stretching, we'll remove it also. So this more or less will be the system that we will do in the entire workflow. So this is a slow process, but not so bad, in the way that we will be like, after a few projections, we will get a lot of texture and detail that is really, really interesting, and a lot of free details because they are coming from a texture, right? From a real life texture. So now we will proceed to remove the last part of the projection that we don't want with the mask. And then in our next lesson, we will start projecting again as we did this same projection from the front, but we will do it from all the angles of the body. And for example, also like only using one arm and one leg and stuff like that. So it's just the same technique. So it will be like projecting with 3D wrap tool and masking, and with a paint tool removing the areas that we don't want. So each projection will need to be a new paint layer, and this is important. So let's move to the next lesson and let's move forward.